Now, an interesting question starts to happen with long-term meditation. A student came a few years ago and he said, can you have eyes open cognition? And it was such an interesting question because this student had been meditating for about 10 years or longer at that time with regularity. So we can expect that he's a fairly high level of cosmicness, if you will, and the stress backlog is not choking his system. So for him, he is probably predominantly cosmic thoughts, even with eyes open, even outside of regular meditation. And so he could have cognitions walking down the street. And so if you can have cognitions walking down the street after a certain amount of time of practice, what does that mean? That actually means that the hallmark of cosmic consciousness, that first stage of enlightenment of being completely transcendental within yourself, but yet eyes open and you can still have the ability to be in activity, we could also call that stabilized rhythm. That cosmic awareness is actually a state persistent cognition, right? Where everything is essentially cognition because you are not just a backlog of stress release. You are universe manifesting as Holly or as whoever else out there. And so I think that's an important distinction to remember, that in early days, most of those thoughts of meditation, just stress release. Don't worry about them. Don't analyze them. Take them out with the trash and let them stay there. Over time, if you might start to have some kind of gnostic vision or understanding in meditation after you've been meditating for some time. And that could be a cognition with your eyes closed. And I always like to say, you know a cognition when you have one. There's just going to be that noetic experience of this is something that I'm supposed to remember. And you don't even have to try to remember it, you just do. Whereas a lot of the stress release or images or psychedelic, things you see in meditation that are just stress release, you won't even remember it by the time you go to open your eyes. And then eventually you will have cognitions not only in waking life, but you will essentially come to experience life as constant cognition because you're not living from that small self stressed out place. You're living from a place of infinite connection to capital N nature.